evening, everybody. Welcome to the campus here at Concord Christian Academy. Jason Roby, along with the highlight guy, Steve Cody. Brad Craig joining us up in the booth tonight on color commentary. We got a great opening night game for you here tonight. The defending Division II state champions, they won't be able to defend that title here tonight because guess what? Concord Christian has moved up a division, and I'm here with Coach Carlisle of the Concord High Kingsmen. And Coach, first of all, congratulations on really an unprecedented string of success. A state title in Division IV, then another one. We bump up, we go up to Division III, get a title there, Division II, title there. You've checked all the boxes. You're now in Division I. You're facing a Bishop Guertin team that has some success in Division I. I read a great article about your team in the Concord Monitor this morning. You talked about chasing competition and not necessarily victories. Can you talk to the highlight guy a little bit about what that means exactly?
Sure. I mean, I suppose everybody wants to win, and I guess it's just been something that's happened while we were chasing competition. But I guess I would say that adversity, we feel like, Coach Matt and I feel like adversity, just builds character. It builds perseverance and confidence, and honestly, as youth coaches, that's what we're trying to build in our girls. So we're excited to be in Division I and look for some more competition, and they're going to potentially face some more losses than they're used to, but it's a good challenge. It's hopefully building their skill basketball-wise as well as their ability to, fight through mental and physical toughness.
Talk to us a little bit about your team this year. Noticed on the roster here, a little bit longer. The numbers have grown a little bit. A couple of new faces that weren't necessarily on the team last year could be positive contributors to this effort here. Talk about your team and maybe some of those newcomers that have come along for you.
Sure, we have 7 girls returning, is that right? 6 girls returning. We have added, we actually have our largest roster that we've had since I've been coaching, where we have 11 girls on our roster. We added 2 seniors this year that haven't played for us in the past, since they've been in high school. They played in middle school. Both phenomenal volleyball players. Sadie Thompson is a 6-foot middle hitter, blocker. So we're happy to have her join us this year. And then we have added a transfer student, Sophia Capsalis, who is a junior, but she's recovering from an ACL surgery. Okay. So she hopefully will join us later in the season. We're fingers crossed her recovery goes well, as well as 2 new freshmen. So we're excited. Yep. We've got a great group of returners, and just looking forward to the competition in Division I this year.
That's good stuff. And Division I know you know a lot of the teams that you're going to be playing. You probably see a lot of these girls on the AAU circuit, different tournaments throughout the state, but a little bit different caliber in terms of the night-to-night talent that you'll be facing. Does a longer bench help you in that regard, especially because of the way you guys like to play? You like to play hair on fire, back and forth. Does having a deeper bench maybe give you the ability to do that a little bit more? Yeah,
I think it will. We haven't changed really a whole lot of the style that we have. All our girls are a year older, a year wiser, hopefully, on the court. They do know a lot of the teams that we play. They, of course, like you mentioned, they play in the AAU circuit.
Yes, sure.
So a lot of the big players in Division I, the girls are familiar with who they are and what their strengths and weaknesses are. So I'm excited. There's a lot of great coaches in Division I too, right? That can get to the board and draw.
Speaking of great coaches and great teams and great programs, what can you tell us about this Bishop Guertin team that you're going to face here tonight?
This is a great group of shooters. Right, so we've got to watch them, and they're a quick group. They have a lot of a good returning group as well.
Sure.
So yeah, we're excited to see how the night goes. We're all a little nervous. First game jitters. It's kind of, I feel like, black sheep playing black sheep tonight. 2 private schools.
Sure.
So we're excited. We're excited about tonight. We're excited about just Division I in general, and
Last question from me, then I'll let you get to your team here.
Sure.
As we're ready to kick off the 2024-25 season. Great things in store for your program, I'm sure. What is the goal for the season? You always enter with a goal of, A, B, C, and then some sub-goals maybe, but what's the ultimate goal for you, for this particular team of Kingsmen here this year?
I think that I hope every Division I coach is aiming for a championship. Obviously, that's our end goal. But we're just really wanting to continue to develop our players. We have some young players, still that are gaining skill and confidence, not only just skill on the court, but like just mental toughness and the ability to persevere through physical aggressiveness. So we're just excited. One game at a time. We'll see how this season goes.
Awesome. Well, this is Coach Rebecca Carlisle of the defending Division II champions. They won't get to defend that title this year because they have moved up. They're playing in the big league. The Division I girls basketball season will get started in just a little bit. Coach, I want to thank you for joining us. Best of luck this season.
Thank you so much.
All right, that is Coach Rebecca Carlisle, and we're going to try to get the head coach for the Bishop Guertin Cardinals in just a minute here, and we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to the campus here at Concord Christian Academy, home of the Kingsmen. We are here for opening night, Division I opening night, and we're here with the head coach of the Bishop Guertin Cardinals, Liv Orlando. It's our Live with Liv moment. Liv, you and I spoke last night.
Yeah.
We haven't talked in a while, maybe a brief text here or there. We talked after that Salem first round loss, and a lot of time has passed since then. What can you tell me about your team? So the girls have obviously gotten a year older, a year stronger, a year more experience. Talk to me a little bit about your team and what you expect from your girls this year.
Yeah, so the neat thing about our squad last year is we didn't really have anyone that had any sort of varsity experience, right? Like the year before, they obviously, BG, we graduated a lot of kids. So last year we were super young and just new and getting to know each other. Me as a coach, I was getting to know them as players. Brad and I were getting to know each other as coaches and how we work together and what we wanted to accomplish. So I think this year our biggest focus is really being consistent in who we are. Like, they've put in a ton of work. I've been so proud. They've been in the gym all summer, all fall, played in a fall league over at Bedford. Like, it's been a productive off season, and now it's more so putting the work that they've put into this into action come game time.
So you talked briefly to me yesterday about a game or a scrimmage that you had, and you didn't like what you saw, but you came away with the W. Is this a team that maybe because they're a little bit older, they're going to be those nights, but now maybe they know how to win those types of games? Because we look back at that Salem game, you guys were up. You were up in that game, and you had a chance, and then maybe the youth of the program. Have you turned?
Was no matter what team you're on, the intensity has to be brought every single day, such that when you come game time and you're in those intense games, or you're in a game where it's kind of back and forth, you're not frazzled or shaken up by, holy crap, like they're making their run. How do we adjust to that, right? So I think her saying that just took the words out of my mouth, and that's been our consistent message of every day. The intensity is as high as it possibly can be, such that come game time, it's not brand new, right? Or you're not, again, getting frazzled or don't know how to adjust in those game-like situations.
That was actually my next question. What is the message? You always had a common saying.
Be the salt.
Be the salt, right?
I remember. That one.
So we have something a little bit different. What can you tell us about this Concord Christian team that you're facing? They've gone from Division IV, win a championship, check. Division III, win a championship, check. Division II championship, check. Now they're in the big leagues, and maybe they go from. But that's maybe not a mindset they have. They have some new girls out here on the floor as well. What can you tell us about this team?
They're a very talented team. They're well coached, and they work really well together, including us. A really challenging time, but we're excited for the opportunity. We're excited to be back in this gym. I know last year we were here, and it definitely wasn't the game that we wanted or we're capable of. So we're just excited to be back and play a really talented team opening night.
That was my. You must have read my opening question.
I'm in your head.
I was about to ask about last year's game, and you came here with, you were still kind of in that playoff hunt. You had a what you thought was a winnable game, and it just seemed like just from the get-go, it was just like a
came out flat, right?
Yeah, a flat experience for your team.
Yeah, and this was an interesting dynamic too, because it was the second time we had seen them. So you might remember the first time we saw them, it was an overtime loss.
That's right.
And it was a really good game. We had a good run. We were up at for a long point, honestly, and then we kind of lost it at the end. So it's really that growth and learning. And but I agree, like we came out here and we were flat, and so we're looking to come out and just stick to who we are, what we want to do, and be consistent with what we do.
We are excited to cover this game tonight. We're excited to see you guys. We're excited to be here.
Thanks for
being
here.
Thank you for joining us, we'll talk along the way.
All right.
Head coach Livia Orlando for the Bishop Guertin Cardinals.
Here we are.
It's game 1 of the Division I season, and the slates have been wiped clean, and both teams are 0-0. We'll be back for what promises to be a great game after these messages.
There we go.
Thanks, Liv.
Thanks.
He breaks another tackle to the 30, the 35, the 40, 50, the 45, the 40, 30, 25. There's nobody near him.
No flags.
What a play.
Anthony D goes the distance. D. Block, kick out, downtown. Yahtzee.
Pitch. Face hit left field. Austin Suchecki gets it done.
In front of the goal mouth, they jump for it. The header finds the back of the net. Hadley Camo with a spectacular play.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It is game night here at Concord Christian Academy. The Kingsmen and the Cardinals of Bishop Guertin to do battle. BG in their green visiting uniforms, Concord Christian in their white uniforms. We've spoken to both head coaches, and you'll be able to see those in post-production. We're going to meet the starting lineups here. Jason Roby calling the action for you. Brad Craik, head coach for the Cardinals for many years, many state titles, been there, done that. Now going to jump into the announcer's booth, so to speak, with us here. Steve Cody, the man on the moving pictures. These two teams saw each other twice last year. There was an overtime game that BG lost, or a regular season game that they lost here. As we meet the starters. But talk to us a little bit about what we can expect from these two teams here tonight.
Yeah, so, well, first of all, nice to be back.
Hey, great to be back.
A new season, everybody's 0-0, and, lots of high hopes. So, you're right, two very good teams. I think when you look around the state and you think about, the top teams in the state, I would bet you that these two at the end of the season are going to kind of be in that top 4 to 6. So, a really great matchup early in the season. Concord Christian's first game as a Division I program after, as you mentioned in your pregame, after a bunch of state titles from D4 to D3 to D2. They're sort of jumping up into the deep end of the ocean. We'll see how they do. But a very talented core of 3 kids that have kind of been the pillars of that program: the Smith sisters, the twins, and then Lily Carlisle, the senior guard, who's just a dynamic kid. So that trio, very, very experienced, very tough group. And then this Guertin kid, I heard you talking to Coach Orlando before the game. Basically a brand new team last year. They got a full year of experience under their belt. They'll be a lot better.
It should be a good one. We'll talk a little bit more in just a minute. We'll have the national anthem. We'll be right back for the opening tip after this.
enjoyable evening for all of those
All right, the national anthem is in the books. Jason Roby along with Brad Craig. The highlight guy is Steve Cody, and we are bringing you game one of 18 games that we have on our docket here in the NHIAA. We'll be covering some boys games this year, some girls games from all over the state. We're trying to pick in some of the best matchups for you, and this one stuck out to us as what should be a fantastic game. And Coach, I was talking to Coach Carlisle before the game. Their bench has gotten a little bit longer. Definitely going to help them as they play some stronger teams that might be a little bit longer in the tooth, have deeper benches. They got a couple of volleyball players on this team, a 6-footer for sure out there. This is a team that definitely looks locked and loaded for a chance to make a run anyway at a Division I title. Yeah, they're going to be like I said, they're going to be a top 5-6 team in Division I. I don't think that bench has a lot of experience right now, but they're a good number, so I think by the end of the season, they'll certainly be a big factor for them. Concord Christian wins the opening tip. They walk the ball around the perimeter. Bishop Guertin applying good pressure defense out beyond the three-point arc, and they'll bring it to the baseline. Shot, no, but an offensive rebound there. A nice bounce pass down on the block, kick out, crossover dribble. And Concord Christian will go back through their set. A flash down the bottom, no. Good job by Guertin. No shot clock here in the state of New Hampshire. So, and a foul called on the floor there, Brad. Looked like quick hands, but BG got to be careful. They don't want too many fouls here in the early going of this one. Yeah, tough call there, actually. It looked like she got a lot of ball there, but, she did reach a little bit, so you just got to stay disciplined. I think, we talked a little bit in the pregame. I think this is going to be a Guertin team, although they got to the playoffs last year, had a disappointing first-round loss. They've had an entire offseason together, as Liv said. They had a very productive summer, played in a couple of summer jamborees, did a nice job, and then had a really good, solid fall. So I'd be very surprised if you didn't see a significantly better, season out of them this year than they had last year. And if they really, really get it going, I see them exactly the same way as Concord Christian. They're definitely a top 4, 5, 6 team, and they got depth. She's 9, 10, 11 deep depending upon the game, and I think you'll see her use a lot of that depth. Nice job getting the ball down on the low block. Rosario picked up that defensive board, and the Cards will set up shop on their offensive side of things. Ball will come back up top to Gallagher. Gallagher now, right hand dribble. To the right side it goes to Caden Ryu. She pulls up a high off the backboard. No whistle. Should have gone right back up with it. They'll kick it back out for three, and a Yahtzee from downtown. First points in the book for Dufo. She's a real key for them. When I've seen this Guertin team this summer and fall, when they struggle, it's usually they struggle to score the basketball. I think Holly's just a pure scorer. Yeah, no doubt about it. They can get her 12 to 15 looks a game. If she can get hot. The nice box out there by Maggie Gallagher, and unfortunately Rosario will have her pocket picked, and she's going to get called. And I believe, Brad, that could be Rosario's second foul. I thought it was on Dufo, but if you look up there, they gave it to Rosario. Yeah, I think you might be, and they're saying it's Rosario's second. I think you're right. I thought the first one was on Dufo. I actually wrote a little question mark next to her name, but we'll get a closer look on that if that's an official. Yeah, and you can see Coach Orlando checking. Is that 2 fouls? Because the first foul is on somebody else. Yep. Another rebound goes through the hands, and you can't give this Kingsmen team a chance, second chances, as picking up the second offensive rebound in the possession is Emma Smith. A lot of height and length there for the junior. She puts it back up and in. 3-4 offensive rebounds for Concord Christian already. And again, they'll have to look at that. We think that first foul was not against Rosario, but against Dufo. Going to get a block and foul on the baseline there. Some aggressive defense. That's going to be number 31. That's Kate Smith's first personal. Easy for me to say. They'll pick up man-to-man defense employed here by Concord Christian. They like to run and gun. They like to get out in transition. And they're moving their feet well on defense. Guertin with a 3-2 lead. They work the ball on the perimeter, and that's what we like to see there. But they got the ball down low. Nothing to show for it, but I hope they go back to it. A little rough and tumble play there, no call. Ball's on the floor, turnover goes to the Cards. Maddie Long comes up with it. Cards on the break now. They'll set things back up. On the baseline it goes back to Long. Long up top now. Dufo skips it across. Crossover dribble, pick on ball. Double team comes, finding Drapo all alone. No. And that's not her spot. We talked a little bit in the pregame about Drapo. Not a typical game for her last time here. 3 points, fouled out, and she's going to have a great game if this great season if this Cardinal team wants to go far.
Yeah, biggest thing, she got to stay on the floor.
Yep.
So if she stays out of foul trouble, she's just very productive in all phases and very athletic kid. So she, you know, like we talked about with Holly as a scorer, you know, Thalia's kind of that five-tool kid.
Yep.
She can score it some. She can shoot it a little bit. She gets downhill. She defends pretty well. Really good rebounder. She's a major key for him.
Guertin can shoot, and we know that, but I like the fact that they're trying to pound it inside a little bit. And as I say that, one gets shot from the Concord Christian bench here in front of us. So back the other way come the Kingsmen, and again, they're killing Guertin on the offensive boards. They'll say that one will go to Guertin, but Emma Smith has gobbled up a couple of rebounds offensively and put it back for buckets. We're going to get a timeout here for Bishop Guertin. They're going to talk it over. I believe it's a 30-second variety. Brad, your thoughts early on, you know, a few minutes into this 2024-25 season.
Yeah, a little helter-skelter early, you know, which is probably exactly what you'd expect for a first game of the regular season, a lot of new faces and so forth. The first team that settles down and just gets into their stuff, I think is going to have a big advantage. You know, Guertin, they got Holly a wide-open three. I'd like to see them, you know, if they can't get out in transition and score early and they end up in the half court, I'd like to see them run some stuff where they get, you know, their top 2 or 3 scores, good looks on every possession, and, you know, she'd be at the top of my list. And then, as you mentioned, Thalia, you know, also a scorer. So that's not to say that not all 5 of the kids on the floor can score, but I think this team's going to really, really, you know, benefit itself if it tries to find, like I said, 12 to 15 looks for its key scorers, and you know, they've gotten away from that a little bit here. So
we also saw Gallagher with a nice pass down low, and
that might be 2 on Kate Smith. Jason.
It could be.
It is.
It is, yeah. So Kate Smith now with 2 personals, and Coach Carlisle wasting no time heading to the bench. We'll see Sadie Thompson, a freshman or a senior forward rather, check in just a minute. Knocking down the freebie.
You know, just the other thing, just reflecting on last year, and, you know, you were kind enough to ask me to do a handful of the Guertin games with you last year. The one theme we probably harped on to death is, you know, this team last year, you know, had a tendency to settle for threes and not really attack and put pressure on the rim. So far, they've gotten pretty good looks at the rim. I think they have got to attack the basket. They're athletic enough that good things will happen. So we'll see early in the season here whether they're committed to really getting downhill and putting pressure on the rim and running the floor.
No doubt about it, as we just saw Haley McGowan, who's just checked in for first action, getting on that defensive rebound. Hesitates to put it on the floor. She'll pull up for a little baseline jumper, and McGowan, the 5'5" guard.
Liv Baker, actually. I think that was.
Is that Baker?
Liv Baker, number 34. Yeah. I don't know
Did they change numbers on me? It's possible they did.
That's Liv Baker.
Okay.
Good block by Baker right there as well.
Because she's listed here in the program as Haley McGowan.
Yeah, that's screwed up.
She's definitely not 5'5".
No, she's 6 foot all day long.
So Liv Baker, and she is on the board with her first bucket. But, you know, getting that rebound, yeah. And you know what she didn't do that I liked? She didn't put the ball on the floor. You know, she got in that triple threat and looked around and took a good shot. Guertin working, elbow, runner in the lane is good. Good penetration there by Long. She's in the books. Guertin up now 8-4. And they're still applying that man-to-man defense. And they'll extend it out to the three-point line. Good help on the backside. Ball gets skipped across the baseline, and Guertin comes away with the turnover. And they'll run. Got to run it down. Good hustle there by Dufo to keep it alive. Long will set things back up. Baseline, the help came Looked like they could have gone backdoor with Drapo, but she kind of stayed outside the key. Cards patient in the half court. Nice pick on ball. There's the roll. Good defense. Concord Christian settles in. And there was that dribble and stop. Long left hand switches over. Nice pass and good finish. And Brad, the thing that, you're right, the thing we harped on the most, we've seen 6 points inside the paint in the early going of this one.
Yeah, great start by Liv Baker off the bench, too. Coach Orlando talked about her in the pregame. Junior has been a 2-year JV kid, but, 6 foot, very athletic kid, and has a knack for scoring the ball.
Well, she is all that in a bag of chips. She's having a good first quarter here for the Cardinals, and they'll need her as the season progresses. I'm sure Coach Orlando happy to see a little forearm shiver there, a little dipsy-do up and under, and a nice make. No call, letting them play on that one. Lily Carlisle's in the books. We mentioned Lily, she had 20 points in the meeting here a year ago. So I'm sure they're well aware of where she's going to be. Long, collapsed, kick out. And in the flow of the offense, not a bad make, or take rather, didn't make it, but dribble drive, defense collapsed down, had an open look.
Yeah, it's a wide open three, you'll take that.
Little give and go, gonna get a foul call here. We'll see who this one goes against. It's gonna be on Ayla Reagan. That'll be her first personal.
So one of the things I like about, from the Guertin perspective is, Laura Marino just checking in for Thigh. She's played 9 in the first quarter. She played 9 in the first quarter. So, it's a 32-minute game. You just hope that depth really starts to pay dividends and they can wear the Concord Christian kids out a little bit. But they just have to keep pushing the ball. I think the tempo is really important for them. They do not want to play a half-court game here. The more they can make this game a full-court game and keep the pressure up and keep the tempo up, the better off they're going to be.
That was the 5th foul against Guertin. That's why we saw Concord Christian at the free throw line. That's the new rule implemented a year ago. We get to 5 1/4. We're shooting freebies, right, Brad?
That's it.
There it is.
College rules, basically.
Nice job. They tried kicking it out. No. Good position underneath by the Cardinals. Might get a jump ball call here, but battling in there. That looked like Laura Marino. And Laura, a year of growth for her. Going in there and battling. Ball kicked back up top. That one shot from way downtown. No.
Great
Another
rebound.
board by Marino. 3-bagger downtown. No. In and out around the rim it went. And back the other way come the Kingsmen. Cardinal transition defense up for the challenge. Step back at the buzzer is no good. We'll come to the end of the first quarter with your score. Bishop Guertin 10 and Concord Christian 7. Is Coach Orlando happy, Brad, with that start? And what, if anything, is she saying they have to do better in the second quarter?
Yeah, I think she is happy. They're up 3 on the road, opening game of the season against a pretty darn good basketball team. So I think you take that. On the plus side, I think she's saying to them, listen, when we were aggressive offensively and we attacked the basket, whether we scored at the rim or got easy kickouts, good things happen. Keep attacking, play downhill. Don't get passive, play downhill. We'll get all the three-pointers we want in the flow of the offense, but we got to get the ball into the paint first. I think the thing on the negative side, she's probably saying, listen, you guys cannot be giving up second chances and offensive rebounds. I think at least 2 of Concord Christian's baskets were on putbacks or shortly after offensive rebounds. So they just got to clean the glass, keep the pace of the game up from her perspective. And then I think, from Concord Christian's perspective, I'm not sure they want to play 100 miles an hour here. I just don't know about the depth right now.
Right.
They got to keep those 3 kids on the bench. Kate's got 2 fouls already, so they're going to have to figure out how they're going to protect her or take a chance with 2 fouls with her. But I think they got to play through Emma Smith and Lily Carlisle.
They have a transfer player that came in with ACL issues, and apparently she will be later on in the year. She will be back to help them. So maybe that bench not quite as long as it's going to be a month from now.
Yep.
Concord Christian will inbound the ball. They're working left to right on your screen. Crossover, dribble, kick out, baseline, fire downtown is long. And Guertin battling for the board, but another offensive rebound for the Kingsmen. There came the double team. And BG fortunate there as the ball went off of Kate Smith's hands, and she has the 2 personal fouls, Brad, and she is still in the game.
Yeah, I think you got to go right at her right now. You know, she does not want to pick up that third, so, you know, when you get a chance to attack her, I think you have to do that, make her defend.
Drapo, the runner in the lane, no call there. Good positioning on that rebound. Emma Smith will come the other way. Again, to that far baseline, it's cut off, and Concord Christian will set up shop on the low block. Tried to feed the inside positioning. We're going to get a push on the floor. And it's going to be the first personal foul against Maddie Long. There was a double team on that pass on the baseline. Long will get called for her first. Looks like Baker will get a rest.
Got Emma got loose. They lost Emma in the screen.
Downtown, Emma Smith starts the scoring in the second quarter. We're locked up at 10. 7:10 to play here in the first half. Runner in the lane. No one underneath to help, and Concord Christian again quickly gets back onto their and into their offensive sets. Kick out on the baseline. No one there. Late to the dance.
They got to run, push the ball.
Marino with the rebound, and here comes the Cardinals. Dufo got it back up top. This is Long. Long will set up the offense. Barking signals from just beyond half court. Marino gets it back up to Gallagher. Gallagher back over to Long. And now Reagan. Nice pass underneath. And a good make there. And a nice job, a good feed into Gallagher. 12-10 Cards. Cards will extend the defense, ball rolling around. Good quick hands there by Dufo. And they'll bring Emma Smith up, and she'll start things. Fired downtown, no. Good box out there by Regan. Long back up. Marino, left-hand dribble to the elbow. And that one. But a nice job. Like to see her go back up with that one, Brad.
Yep. I don't think she realized how open she
was.
How
open she was. They'll watch that one back on the highlight guy and say, boy, stop, pop.
Holly's tired. I think Holly needs a blow. Oh, tough pass. Good pass.
The Cardinals defense getting caught maybe a little bit out of position on that one. Fortunate that the Kingsmen couldn't knock it down. Yeah, another turnover is. We're going to get a sub here. We didn't get a buzz, but it looks like
tired legs.
Yeah, Caden Leo's going to. You know, the preseason, Brad, a lot different than the, you know, when it counts, right? And scrimmages and jamborees and all these kinds of things. The speed of the game a little bit different. Another and a block shot there by Gallagher. They're going to call her on the foul. That's a tough call right there. Maybe got her with the body. And they've got 2 on Gallagher, so I only had 1, but I'm not the official scorebook, unless you ask me, and I'll tell you I am. That's Brooklyn Robbins, a sophomore forward, knocking down the first. 2 out of 2 for Brooklyn. We are locked up at 12. 5:10 to go in the first half. Fast-moving game. The first one of the 24-25 season. One dribble fired way downtown. No, Marino battling in there on the glass. Would have loved to have seen him feed her right back on the block, but they'll set things up beyond the three-point arc. Marino, dribble drive. They collapse on it. They find Gallagher, and she gets hacked in the act. Nice job, Marino to Gallagher. They're trying to establish that inside game.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds so simple, right? Attack the rim, good things. Get passive, they struggle. A great job by Laura turning the corner, getting down in the paint, drawing the help.
Gallagher knocks down the first, and you know, you can really see the growth, Brad, from one year to the next with some of these kids.
They're not shell shocked here. They seem a lot more confident, and there's a year of growth. You mentioned a year of playing with one another. There's a maturity with these girls that you can see from a year ago.
Yeah, there's no question. It's all, I think for them now, it's all about execution, right? They just need to execute and to get consistent. I think Liv harped on it 2 or 3 times, consistency, right? Just not having the big ebbs and flows and lulls and so forth.
That's Carlisle, and she has 5 points. Her first bucket of the second quarter. Crossover dribble, elbow spin move, kick out, Marino downtown, Yahtzee! So a nice shot there for Laura Marino. Ooh, get away with a carry, maybe runner in the lane.
Sure looked like it, huh?
How you doing there? But a nice make. 8.7 on the difficulty of that one.
She's a scorer. She is a scorer.
She is indeed. And it went down on the low block. They kick it back out. Nobody guarding that 3-point line, Brad. And they're content to give that up as Concord Christian. So far, Guertin maybe lukewarm from out there, not necessarily able to knock down those open threes. Double dribble, and now we get that call, and that's a call that could have came a possession earlier, and that's just because you have good pressure defense on you too, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I think you just make her uncomfortable. You know, she's going to score, but you know, if you make everything she tries to do difficult, sooner or later she's going to turn the ball over.
Carlisle's got 7 points for the Kingsmen to lead things on their side of things. Rosario has checked back in. She'll operate in the point. Dufo loses the dribble, gets it back up to Jazz. Now they feed the low block. Nice move. Drapo up and under, no call. Hits the deck hard. Guertin comes away with a steal. Downtown, no. Got to be careful not to get whistled for another foul and going over the back if you're Guertin, but getting a little more aggressive on the offensive boards. We're going to get a travel call here, and it's a good call as Emma Smith thought about it, stopped, thought about it again, let her fly. Guertin with a 17-16 advantage, 2:59 to go here in the first half. Jason Roby along with Brad Craik. Steve Cody is the man on the moving pictures. Want to thank you all for watching us here on The Highlight Guy. Should be a great year, Brad. We have some awesome games scheduled, and we're reaching out to all the athletic directors and trying to get on the docket. Nice pass on the low block. Here comes the double team. Nice little pass, little 2-player game. Back out to Marino. She's not shy, in and out. It was a good look for Marino, and Rosario goes in the land of the Giants, comes away with another rebound. That was a big part of her game. Marino wanted it in the paint. She was all alone. She had the height advantage, but instead Drapo took it to the hoop, and guess what? That could be foul number 3.
Yep.
And that's a big one. So Kate Smith, the junior forward, has 3 fouls. We'll have to wait and see how Coach Carlisle plays this one. Drapo knocks down the first of 2 freebies. That's her second point. And as expected, exiting the game with those 3 personal fouls is Kate Smith. I believe Sadie Thompson checked in for her. 2 out of 2 on that effort for Drapo.
Who's guarding Emma?
Guertin lead is back up to 3.
Boy, that's not the kid you want to leave loose. Emma Smith, that could kill you.
Let's see if Concord Christian continues to attack the paint and kick out. They do. Elbow, kick back out, near steal there. Emma Smith kicks it out. Wide open look from downtown. No, good positioning there and a good rebound.
Great rebound.
Holly Dufo boxed out Smith. Downtown, way downtown, no. But a good job on the boards again for Drapo. And that's the other thing too, Brad, is if you play down low, you have a better opportunity to clean the glass. Whereas if you're standing beyond the 3-point arc, not as many opportunities to get those misses. Rosario, left-hand dribble. Delay in and gets hacked in the act. Nice job. Got to the elbow, delay, back in, and smooth sailing to the cup.
Dribble penetration, right? Dribble penetration. You know, they run a lot of that wing ball screen offense, and when those guards turn the corner and think get to the rim, that's a good thing they can create for themselves. Jazz in particular is just so shifty.
Gonna say that foul was on the floor. I thought maybe she was going up, but the Cards will get possession and they'll set up in the half court. They still have the 3-point lead. Minute 24 to go until the halftime. Cardinals showing good patience. Baseline's cut off. They get it back up top. Marino again not shy. She's had 2 go in and out. Back the other way comes Smith. She's going to need some help defense, and I'll tell you what happened right there. Marino came out.
Run.
They're going to call a travel there. Cards got to be careful here that they, and you mentioned it, Brad, they're got to know where Emma Smith is at all times.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, Smith, kick out. Concord Christian now sets up in the half court. Crossover dribble. Good help defense to the baseline. It goes downtown. No.
Go.
Another rebound from Marino.
Go. There. That's what they got to do right there. Just keep running. Wide open 3.
Jazz on the rebound. Tries to rip it away. Hits the deck. They're going to call it travel. And I'll say this, Brad. Bishop Guertin has had 4 or 5 wide open looks from three-point land. This could easily be a 15-point game if they hit some of those shots. But
yeah, they're getting good looks. I think you got to keep taking, but they just have to keep pushing the pace of the game, I think, Jason.
Good defense there by Dufo as she's just pesky as pesky can be, trying to knock that ball away, and another turnover on Concord Christian. So a little bit of sloppy play from both of these teams. Fatigue will.
You can see it. You get some people bending. They got their holding their shorts a little bit right now. First game of the season, you're going to have that.
10 seconds to go. They find the corner. They're going to say she stepped on the baseline out of bounds. And Coach Orlando will have the Cards pick up full court. 8 seconds to go. Smith. Turnaround in the paint, up, no good. Rebound goes to the Cardinals. That was Drapo. And we'll come to the end of the first half. It is a 19-16 Cardinal advantage. Jason Roby along with Brad Craik. You were watching on the highlight guide. The man on the moving pictures is Steve Cody. We got to pay a couple of bills. We'll be right back with some first half breakdown for you and what to expect in the second half. You are watching the highlight guy. Thanks, everybody, for joining us here. We'll be back after these messages. Meet Bouvier Prepare, your game changer in college athletics recruitment. We cut through the chaos, focusing on superb communication and top-notch organization. One-on-one attention, tailored strategies, and a winning game plan for emails, calls, camps, visits, and offer closings. Be prepared. Your limitless future starts now with Bouvier Prepare.
Hi, this is Deb Cody with the Dow Group at Keller Williams Coastal and Lakes and Mountains Realty. I have a passion for helping people, and I love to help people with their real estate goals, whether it's buying, selling, or investing. I'm licensed in New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Maine, and work with an incredible team, the Dow Group, which has been the #1 real estate team in New Hampshire for the past several years. Collectively, the team has sold over $1 billion worth of real estate in the past 20 years. If you're curious to know what the local market is like in your area, feel free to reach out via my website, deb.thedowgroup.com, and let's get connected.
Are you looking to play sports in college? Almost every college recruiting website recommends having a highlight video as one of the top 3 crucial recruiting tools. In fact, 93% of college coaches we surveyed said they watch a recruit's highlight video as part of their player assessments. Our sole purpose is to make you look good. Our highlight videos include an athlete bio and accolade page, stop motion, and player highlight. The video is not done until you are completely satisfied and say it's done. We also upload to YouTube or whatever recruiting platform you use. The highlight guy can also film your high school or club games to capture you in action, resulting in amazing footage that you can use to help create your highlight video. We have the expertise to help you get recruited. Check out our website at thehighlightguy.com or contact Steve at thehighlightguy.com to get started on your path to playing sports in college.